My name's Lila Nelson. I'm a songwriter. I'm a singer-songwriter. I write wrongs through songs, hopefully. Sometimes I need to create them in order to then write them, but it keeps me busy.
Hi there, I'm Mike Forts, and welcome back to Parlour to Parlour. As promised, we're heading back to the Bay Area, and it was actually up in Portland where I first met singer-songwriter Lila Nelson last year, playing an early set before Rachel Taylor Brown, who we met here a couple of weeks ago. Lila was shy and soft-spoken when we first talked before her set in Portland, but once she took the stage, she was in full command, engaging with an audience that she more or less had in the palm of her hand. Being that interaction is such a key part of her show, I asked her if she ever encounters much resistance from her audience to having such a good time. Here's what she had to say.
As somebody who's relatively shy at heart, is one of the things I do is ask a lot of an audience in a way, and I put them on the spot. And some people really don't like that. I find that when I'm in an audience, I do like that. I do like to sort of have a say and have input and have it be interactive. And so that's my impetus to do that, one of them. The other one being, I'm up here, I'm feeling vulnerable and insecure. You should too, and I also think it sort of livens the performance environment in a way. It makes it feel more spontaneous. There's more room for error, which in some ways makes more room for things to go right when things can go wrong.
Oh, now? Who are you, nice guy? What's your name? Jesse, hi.
So I don't think I encounter too much apathy. I think there's some ambivalence sometimes, and people feel kind of on the spot, and I'll get a response from somebody in an email saying, "Oh, they felt picked on," or I wasn't, but that's I've come to expect that and sort of appreciate that part of it too.
Before Facebook overtook MySpace as the dominant social networking platform, Lila was performing a clever song dedicated to MySpace founder Tom Anderson called I Accept Everybody. But will she do the same for Facebook and Twitter?
You are not the first, I'm sorry, to have asked that question. I saw a song, and I wish I could remember his name, a friend of mine who's always paying attention to the up-and-coming, the avant-garde of social networking songs, sent me a song that some genius had written about Twitter, called something like, and you can try and find it. Just Google this. You're no one if you don't use Twitter, or something like this. And it was so well done that I was shut down. And I keep thinking, okay, if there's something that gets bigger than Twitter, I will write that song, and I will be so ready to write that song. I will show you. But in the meantime, I don't know, it's not coming. And I can't force it with the songs. This may sound cliche, but I do a lot of waiting for songs. That's kind of my day job.
And now we'll follow Lila on a little tour of the inspiring spots in her home where she engages in her regular occupation of waiting for songs.
If you walk around the corner, you'll see it's the first Christian church of something or other. But in my mind, it's a beautiful piece of architecture that
you see every morning.
That I see every morning, and it sort of reminds me of a Leonard Cohen song. When you live in a place that has some view that is identical to another view you've had in your life, and so in that it sort of throws you back into this place. That's what this does for me, actually. It seems like this sort of an uninteresting view out the window of this, but I lived in an apartment that looked out onto this, so I get thrown back into that place, and sometimes that's inspiring for writing songs, in the same way that you go back and go through old journals and old songwriting sort of pages. When I was 5, I get a lot of inspiration in the bathtub and the shower, just sitting here. Like I said, the waiting is the most important part, which is why I can't really have a day job, because I'm so busy waiting for songs.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's all just, I mean, you've seen a bath before. You turn on the water and then you sort of lie back. That's kind of hot. And then, and then from here it's cake, you know. I know, you know. Take a deep breath. The day starts to unwind. Often it's the middle of the day, so it's irrelevant. But being relaxed, I think, is key to the whole process.
I can get behind that.
Well, there's not actually much room in here, but maybe next time. Usually I have a book that's sort of the functioning book at any given time. And that book is where I write lists and songs, and everything that I'm writing goes in that book. Pictures, I do little sort of cartoon blogs, so I can remember what's going on, who I am. I will sketch places. This is rather intimate. Here, read my journal. And then the song happens usually on my Martin. Lately, I've been playing the Gibson a little bit, and also the mandolin I've been working into my set some. So, and then, gosh, I mean, this desk says it all. I'm an organizational nightmare, but I have CDs that I, you know, continue to send out. This is the latest one I was telling you about, Freddie Coella and Kenny Edwards, who produced this one. It's called Letter Home. I like it. I'm still touring songs off of this one. The graphic artist, I think, did a great job too. These are all, you know, drawings that I did. Working on it as a kind of whole project in a way, the visual part of it, and often I kind of leave that by the wayside, but this time I was able to make it all part of that process with the help from a team, and I feel like it worked pretty well. And then often I'll come over here to the non-mat. Oh, look, it's my idols. And I update my Twitter, see how Bob Boylan is doing. And I say, this is how I stay in touch with the world. I say, Parlour, how do you spell Parlour? Parlour to Parlour with Mike. It's obscure enough, and yet, what on earth?
Soon they will all know. Yes, now you all know. Lila does play outside of the Bay Area every so often, so keep an eye on her schedule. In the meantime, check out the downloads and the video of the acoustic performance of the song If Not You. Thanks for hanging with us, and I'll see you next week when we visit a cool little San Francisco band at their pleasure pad. Yes, that is what they call it. Enjoy.
Well, but I knew